Hello guys, today in this video we are going to discuss about junction capacitance. So to determine the junction capacitance in a reverse applied bias condition for a PN junction, we need to know two parameters. One is the space charge width and the other is the abrupt boundary. So abrupt boundary, as we said, it is extended to both N and P region, so any side can be taken. For example, today's video is about junction capacitance. Okay, so suppose I will take a bulk PN junction like this. So we know this is our metallurgical junction, x is equal to 0. Then for a reverse applied bias, we said suppose this is extended to xn, this is our P region and N region, and this space charge width is extended to minus xp, right? So for a application of, if you are applying a reverse bias potential of VR, right? And here, as we know, N region is having positive space charge region over here and the negative space charge region over here in the P side, right? And the space charge width is like from this to this. This is the space charge width. Okay. So in this case, if you want to write what is the value of the space charge width and what is the value of the abrupt boundary, like xn or minus xp, I can take only xn here to find out the junction capacitance. On also you can take xp value to find out the junction capacitance. I will tell you how. Okay, so in thermal equilibrium, when there was no potential given to the PN junction, we discussed what is the value of built-in potential barrier, we discussed what is the value of space charge width and this abrupt boundary in terms of VBI, the built-in potential barrier. So if you remember, the value that we determined is given by 2 epsilon s VBI divided by E, right? And then we got this to be NA plus ND divided by NAND to the power 1 by 2. This was the value that we got for the space charge width, right? Similarly, for Xn, we obtained the value in thermal equilibrium. You can check the other videos that I have done for these calculations. VBI divided by E, and this was NA by ND, and this was 1 by NA plus ND, right? Easy to remember. Only thing you need to see is this is here you got Na plus Nd and here you got Na plus Nd at the denominator. So to the power 1 by 2. So these are the two values that we have already determined. Now for the reverse bias condition, if you want to write, as we know that there will be additional change in the Fermi energy level. Okay, when the PN junction diode is not in equilibrium, because you are giving a reverse applied bias, right? So we said the Fermi energy level will be shifted in the P side towards the conduction band, and in the N region we said that the Fermi energy level will go down towards the valence band, right? You can just check the other video that we have discussed. Okay, fine. So here the objective is, when I'm writing it for the reverse applied bias condition, what will happen? There will be an additional potential, because the band bending will be more, space charge width will be more. So band bending is actually the measure of the the space charge width. So here this VBI can just be replaced by what? VBI plus VR. So that is the only change in these expressions, right? So we can rewrite W is equal to what? 2 epsilon s VBI plus VR here now divided by E, and you got this NA plus ND divided by NAND, right, to the power 1 by 2. So similarly you can just rewrite Xn is equal to 2 epsilon s VBI plus VR, okay, and divided by E, Na by Nd, 1 by Na plus Nd. So that way you can write X is 2 epsilon s VBI plus VR, right, divided by E, and we got Na by Nd, 1 by Na plus Nd, right, to the power 1 by 2. So these are the two expressions basically we are going to use while deriving the junction capacitance. Okay, let me just tell you how to do that. Okay, so we have these W and Xn values. I'm going to use those values. Okay, so technically what is junction capacitance? How we will define junction capacitance? Okay, so now what I said, if you are giving, suppose I will draw the distribution of charge Okay, in this is my p region, this is the n region, right? And the charge is suppose extended, the space charge region is extended up to plus xn here and up to minus xn minus xp here, right? Okay, so here this is the positive space charge region, this is the negative space charge region. The volume charge density, as we know, n region is doped with Nd profile, Nd donor impurity concentration, p region is doped with Na impurity concentration, right? So the volume charge density here we can write, this is actually END, right? That gives you the charge per unit volume, right? Similarly, this value here is minus E because negative space charge is in Na is the impurity concentration for the P region, right? So this is given. Now the space charge width, you can see the space charge width when there is a applied bias of VR, reverse applied bias VR, right? Now in addition to this VR, if you will increase the potential by a small amount dVR, this is the change in the reverse applied bias, or you increased the reverse applied bias by an amount of dVR, then what will happen? As we know, the space charge width will further increase, right, by a small amount, because this is a small bias given, right? The same thing will happen over here, so you can see it will also increase. So some amount of charge will be accumulated over here. So let us take that is dq dash. Dq dash is nothing but the charge per unit area that is accumulated here in the small region, this small dimension, okay, and this small dimension, let me take it as dxn, because xn is this, and then with respect to xn there is a small change in the dimension or the length. Okay, this is our x and this is our volume charge density, this graph. Okay, particularly, I mean this is just the distribution. Okay, same thing here will also happen, dq dash amount of charge will be accumulated for dvr. Now if you want to find out what is the amount of charge accumulated over here per unit area with a change of dvr, what we will do, we'll take the ratio of that, like dq dash amount of charge per dvr, right? This thing is known as actually the junction capacitance. We write the notation as C dash. C dash is known as the junction capacitance or depletion region capacitance. Okay, the capacitance in the depletion region because of a change in the reverse applied bias, right? So mathematically you got it, dq dash by dvr is equal to C dash. Now what I will derive, how I will derive this C dash value. So from here you can see, suppose any side you can take, either you take this side or you take this side, okay, to find out. So we have the volume charge density over here, END is the volume charge density, that is charge per unit volume. Then we defined a small dimension, that is dxn, small length. So if I multiply with this dxn, that will give me the charge per unit area. This is charge per unit volume multiplied with the length will give us the charge per unit area. So that is nothing but your dq dash, right? So in place of dq dash, I can substitute END dxn and then dvr. We got that dxn, if I write dxn by dvr, this xn is actually a function of vr. You can see this xn is a function of vr, so I can take the derivative d by dvr of xn, right? So that is the simple way to find out what is the junction capacitance. So now what I will do is simple maths, simple derivative I will take. So to write the junction capacitance, we will start with C dash is equal to dq dash of d by dvr, and then we got this is END dxn by dvr, right? Now substitute the value of xn here that we have already obtained, right? So END is constant, take this out, and then you write d by dvr of what? The function itself. Okay, so here we got this value 2 epsilon s vbi plus vr, okay, divided by E, okay, divided by E, and then we have Na by Nd, Na by Nd, okay, 1 by Na plus Nd to the power 1 by 2, okay, so to the power 1 by 2, and then the derivative of whole thing, right? Okay, So simply all the constant terms can be taken outside. All the constant terms can be taken outside, you can see. And then you got E and D over here. Then you have 2 epsilon s, right, divided by E. You have Na by Nd. Then 1 by Na plus Nd, right, to the power 1 by 2. This whole thing can be taken outside. They are constant. Okay. Only thing is that Vvi plus Vr. So we got d by dVr of what? This Vbi plus Vr, right, to the power 1 by 2. Okay, this thing. Fine. So now you can see this is Nd to the power 1 by 2. This is Nd. So if I will cancel, then we got Nd to the power 1 by 2. You got E to the power 1 by 2 here in the bracket, and you got E here. So if you will cancel, then you will get 1 by 2. Power over here, e to the power 1 by 2, right? And the rest will be here. Here you got, if I'll solve this one, so if I'll solve this one, we got, finally we have 2 epsilon s and then e to the power 1 by 2. So E you got, and then you have Nd to the power 1 by 2. So this whole thing can be taken inside. So 2 epsilon s E Nd Na. So all these two terms can be taken inside, divided by Na plus Nd as it is, Na plus Nd as it is. So this thing to the power 1 by 2 is there, right? And this d by dVr of Vvi plus Vr. So what it will give you? 1 by 2 Vvi plus Vr to the power minus 1 by 2. So let us write that term 1 by 2. So this to the power minus 1 by 2, I will write 1 by Vvi plus Vr to the power 1 by 2, right? Then you can take d by dVr of Vbi. Vbi is constant, that will be 0. D by dVr of Vr is 1. So we will only get this thing, right? Now further, if you will see here, you got a 2 and you got a 2 to the power 1 by 2. So if I will cancel it, you got 2 to the power 1 by 2 extra here, right? So now finally we can further write what is the junction capacitance in a simplified form. So we got C dash is equal to, actually what we got this E epsilon s Na Nd, right, divided by, you got 2, and then you have Vbi plus Vr, this term, this is 1 by 2, this is also 1 by 2, this is also 2 to the power 1 by 2. So Na plus Nd, all these things to the power 1 by 2, right? So this is our junction capacitance or depletion region capacitance, and we obtain this simply by taking dq dash by dVr. This was obtained by just taking dq dash by dVr and writing q dash in terms of dxn, because xn is a function of Vr, you can write. Okay, you got this. Now if you see the W value, the W, okay, so the W is the space charge weight which is given by this terminology, 2 epsilon s Vvi plus Vr by E, and then you got Na plus Nd divided by Na Nd, right? So this is what we got, right? Now if you want to establish a relationship between C dash and W, simply just verify, you multiply C dash with W and see what you are getting, right? So if I will write this, okay, this we got E epsilon s Na Nd whole thing to the power 1 by 2, here also whole thing to the power 1 by 2. So Na Nd divided by twice of Vbi plus Vr, right? And then you have this Na plus Nd, right? And then multiplied with W, that gives us 2 epsilon s, okay, and then Vbi plus Vr, right, divided by E, and then we got Na plus Nd divided by NaNd, right, to the power 1 by 2. So this to the power 1 by 2 and this to the power 1 by 2. So what will happen if I multiply it? Okay, so I have substituted the value of W Okay, just to establish a relationship between C dash and W, that is junction capacitance and space charge width, how they are related. That is what we are going to obtain, right? So see, whatever we can cancel. Let us cancel those. So I can see this is 2 to the power 1 by 2, 2 to the power 1 by 2 can be cancelled. VVI plus VR to the power 1 by 2 here, and here you got, right? And then you got e to the power 1 by 2, here also you got e to the power 1 by 2, NAND, you got NAND to the power 1 by 2. So finally, okay, and this Na plus Nd, and here also you got Na plus Nd. Almost all the terminologies were cancelled. You can see only epsilon to s to the power 1 by 2 and epsilon s to the power 1 by 2 is remaining. So you got this to be epsilon s. Okay, so if you want to write the relationship between this, C dash is actually what? Epsilon s divided by W. So if you know the electric permittivity of the semiconductor, the p-n junction material, and then the W, that is the space charge width, okay, this space charge width is in the reverse bias condition, right? Then you will be able to find out the junction capacitance, right? So this is all about junction capacitance. So by applying a small reverse potential, what is the amount of charge that is accumulated in the space charge region, knowing that, and dq dash by dvr, doing a simple math, you will be able to calculate this junction capacitance. So junction capacitance can be written as epsilon s by W, or in other terms you can see E epsilon s NAND by VVI plus VR NAND. So knowing the semiconductor permittivity, doping profiles, and the built-in potential barrier, which is a known value, and this VR, okay, that is the amount of reverse applied bias you applied, you will be able to find out what is the capacitance value, which is known as the junction capacitance or the depletion region capacitance. Yeah, thank you. This is it for today. We will come with another video, another topic in the in the next video. Thank you for watching.